Good morning. Thank you everybody for joining today. My name is Chris Foreman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Marketplace.city. So Marketplace.city is a platform that helps local governments find, validate, and procure great technology solutions. And the reason we're here today is because Marketplace is collecting a lot of information from both cities and the vendor supplier community on different solutions to responding to COVID-19. And sort of Marketplace's DNA is to be able to find solutions for the cities that we're working with, help answer what other cities are doing, how those solutions have performed, and then identify case studies and contracts related to those solutions in order to deliver results for more informed decision making, lowering the risk of technology investments, and then faster transactions. So this readiness campaign that we've launched has a series of different assets related to it. I'm going to run through those really quick. But we also want to highlight the fact that the solutions that we're working with and the solution providers that we're presenting, they have a specific angle towards a quick deployment of their solutions, of flexible sort of opt-in, opt-out packages, so that you can adopt something quickly, but you're not completely locked in if you decide to use a solution. And then we also have some solution providers that are offering free or heavily discounted solutions in the short term in order to help cities respond to COVID-19. So what we want to focus on, which is something we focus on quite regularly at Marketplace.city, is identifying the value that solution can provide, identifying case studies and results, and identifying how to buy it in next steps. So we're offering up to the supplier and vendor community to publish their solutions into Marketplace.city. By using the promo code COVID-19 to publish a single product for 1 year for free into Marketplace.city. So you can go to Marketplace /sign up and you can get access to a product page there. So I want to be able to show you quickly the page as well. Real briefly, the landing page. So if you go to Marketplace.city, will see a banner at the top of the page that will lead you to the COVID-19 Readiness Kit, and that will take you to this site here that you're seeing. And this site will have the solutions on the left side that we're featuring here. And so not only has initial intro of the solution, it links to their product pages on Marketplace.city. And then if you see this little link at the bottom, see an overview, you'll see the recording that we did with that solution provider. So today we have Tao Hill from ProcureNow, who is joining us, and will present his solution in just a second. You might see Tao on there. He's already showing his camera. And you'll see ProcureNow's solution that's published on the site. And once we're done here, Tao's presentation will be linked right below their section here. We also have key links on the site, and we have open opportunities right now targeted at sort of webinars and different sessions that you could join in order to get more information about responding to COVID-19. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Tao Hill, who is with me. And Tao, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. Excellent. So Tao, I'm going to make you the presenter and give you a chance to put your screen and show your screen to the rest of us. And sure. There we go. And yeah, before we get started, so yeah, ProcureNow is a solution that has been around for several years and helps the local governments to migrate from a traditionally paper procurement processes to a digital process, to an online process, which from our perspective is extremely critical, because right now government employees are being locked out of their offices, and where that traditional paper process was used inside the office in order to put out bids, receive bids, and then route the bids through a purchasing decision. When you take away that physical element to the process, it throws a lot of things in flux. So ProcureNow has a solution that will help procurement teams move to a paperless environment, and can actually do that quite rapidly. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Tao and let him give an overview of his platform.
Awesome, thank you, Chris. Thanks for having us on today. And would love to introduce to the community, ProcureNow, who we are, what our solution is, and also just, what we've been doing to help our customers in response to the COVID-19 crisis. So real quickly, I'll just, this is me. I'm with ProcureNow. I'm the head of customer success and marketing and sales. Here are some of who our customers are. We have customers all across the country, and again, like our focus is to provide electronic procurement and electronic automation workflow solutions for local government for their purchasing offices and purchasing functions. And this is I'll leave this on the screen for a little while I talk about what we're doing specifically in response to COVID-19 for our customers. So the way that our product is broken down is the first part that you see here in green is our collaboration tool. That's the part that Chris was talking about that helps us internally move from writing RFPs and bids through this process where we're literally passing papers around and and putting them in folders and shifting them around to the attorney's office, but rather taking that whole process and moving it online and automation through software. The second part is, and we'll focus on this really intensely here, is our electronic sourcing module, and then the last part is our contracts management module. The reason why we're going to focus on sourcing is because ProcureNow is actually offering our sourcing module to the procurement or the government procurement community for a limited time for free through the end of this year. And the reason why we're focusing on that is because this is the part that really helps you go from taking and receiving paper bids from vendors, where currently what they're having to do if you're taking a paper bid from a vendor is that the vendor will have to print them out, print 5 copies of them, physically walk them into City Hall or mail them through UPS or FedEx or whatever mail service delivery or courier service that they have, after they go to FedEx and they bind them or whatever. And so there's this very physical process that occurs that involves a lot of like human interaction. And as we know today, like that's changing for us. We have a specific instance in the city of Norfolk where we had just started working on the project with them, and they were completely paper-based bid and vendor response for all of their purchases. And so I was actually out there at their city hall on the last day that their city hall was open, just kicking off their project. And this was a project that we were going to be doing the sort of whole full workflow solution. And they came to me and said, listen, we have a problem. The problem is that our city hall is going to be closed on Monday. And so no one's going to be able to, there's no vendor or bidder that's going to be able to walk into city hall and just hand the bid off. First of all, the second part is that if we were to set up locations where the mail can be dropped off, then we could only pick those up at certain times. Mail deliveries are are unreliable right now, and we're still putting folks at risk by having to go out and receive those, or staff at risk by going out and receive those and bringing them back into City Hall or wherever they may be. And now take into a fact that the staff is actually working from home, so they're not even at City Hall. So there's really no one to even pick up that bid when you're mailing them in. And so they had no choice but to walk into the conference room where we were just having our project conversation anyway and say, hey, listen, we've got to change things, and we have to move this part to the front of the line. And so what we did with them, and that was on a Friday. Over the weekend, we went ahead and just sort of lit up their site for them. The amount of time that it takes us to deploy a portal for our customer takes about 15 minutes. So it's a very short amount of time that we can get a customized portal created for them. And then we send them emails to activate their accounts, and we send them 2 links. One is sort of like to the full portal where you can click, you can add it to your website and it takes you to the full procurement portal. And then another one that allows you to embed it sort of like an iframe into your website. And so those are really the only 2 links that you would need in a conversation with your webmaster in order to get our portal online and up on your website. If you have like a list of vendors who you're normally reaching out to and you have email addresses, all you have to do is just pass that list into our system. And then that will allow those vendors to be notified automatically once you post bids through our software. So it's all very self-service, it's all very easy to do. And that team, the team of 12 procurement officials in the city of Norfolk was able to get up and running and trained and have all of their existing bids switched over from accepting paper bids to ProcureNow within 3 days. And that was like, soup to nuts. And they had issued the addenda before each one of their bids to extend it out by a couple of weeks, just to let folks know that like this is happening, this is transitioning, and you're not going to be able to submit a paper bid. Instead, they dropped in the addenda, here's the link to the portal, and you're going to want to submit your bid through there. So once we finished that, we as a team, we sat down and said, hey, like this is something that we really need to address with the entire community. And so as an organization, we decided to offer our sourcing module, which is that piece that allows you to post all your bids to online, allows vendors to collect those responses. And then a third kind of important piece that people don't think about, but it's to allow your evaluators to evaluate them electronically as well. That's actually kind of a key piece that if you don't have that piece that once you take the bids in and then and you don't have something to allow your evaluation team to evaluate it with, then you would just be printing them back out and then having to pass them around, or worst case scenario, electronically, handing them off like a 100-page PDF and asking them to try to evaluate like 7 different 100-page PDFs. And so our system is a little bit more intelligent and guided than that. Where it has the score sheets available to you electronically. It allows you to break down the vendor responses and look at the responses side by side so that you're not flipping through like large volumes of PDF to try to like evaluate those responses. And so our offer is to anyone who's currently only taking paper bids and doesn't have a mechanism to receive bids electronically and do so in a compliant way. And when I mean compliant, meaning that it complies with the sealed bid process, where essentially when you take the bid in, because emails doesn't do that. If you email a bid to someone, then they could actually open it and like read the bid. And so what we want to do is we want the vendor to be able to have the the transparency and the compliance of, I can submit a bid in, it's going to stay sealed inside of kind of like an electronic lockbox until the bid process ends, when they close the bid, and then when someone actually electronically unseals the bid, then only then would the internal staff and evaluators have access to see all of the bid responses and to see the totals of the bid prices and everything that they've submitted. And so that's what we're offering to folks. This solution will be free to them between now and December 31st. We've also, because we want to make sure that folks know that we're committed to helping them get through this crisis. We're also making sure that if you decide to stay with us after December 31st, that we have one flat rate. It's $250 a month for continuing use of that solution. Our solution normally costs a lot more than that, but we want to make sure that you feel comfortable moving forward with it in the first place, and that we're not trying to lock you into some kind of like expensive contract or anything like that. So just real quickly, and I'll that kind of wrap this up, is just kind of show you what that looks like. So this is the city of Norfolk's ProcureNow e-procurement portal. What they moved from was essentially just a very simple list where they were just posting things on their website. And this is what we see a lot of folks do, is where they just have like a place where they can just download the RFP, but they don't have a way for them to upload it back on up through their website. And so that's what we're giving, would be giving to you as well. So you would have a portal that looks kind of like this, where you would have all your bids listed here. I can just come in and click on one of the projects that I'm working on. You'll see that it provides a summary, who the contact person is, what the timeline is for the solicitation. All of the documents would be located here under attachments. So there would be the your RFP and any sort of pricing tables, and if there are addenda, et cetera, you would see them as there. And then there's a place here where the vendor would have simply just drag and drop their response and just answer some confirmation questions, making sure that like they're complying with the process. And then that's it. If they issue addenda, your vendors will receive notifications. Vendors can also ask questions, and the staff can respond through ProcureNow, and then ultimately when they get ready to, if they need to download any of the documents, they can do that right there. One thing that we do that make it really easy to allow vendors to share this with other folks. If I saw this here, this record storage, retrieval, and destruction services RFP, and it's not something that I do, but it's something that I might want to share with my fellow colleagues. I can just click here and very easily post this to my LinkedIn site. I want to be able to get more eyes on the project, so I want to be able to post that out to LinkedIn, or if I wanted to post the bid out to Twitter, I can just click our Twitter feed or our Facebook feed, etc. The process for a vendor to become to have an account in ProcureNow is really easy. All we need is an email address. So that's actually one of the things why our customers really like our solution, because it doesn't ask you for like 5 pages worth of stuff that you have to fill out in order to access the bid. You just simply type in an email address. Once you activate that account, then you would be able to submit your response, drag and drop your documents in, and that's it. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much, Tal. I think a lot of people on both sides of the transaction bemoan the bidding and RFP process. And some people have different mixed feelings on it, but I think everyone could agree that the process of having to physically print 5 or 10 different copies of hard copies of a response, and then having to drop that off or mail it to a physical location is extremely archaic. And the people receiving it, they would rather receive it in electronic format, because everyone wants to do find and search for the price anyway. No, I'm just kidding. But they want to be able to browse through that quickly, and it's more challenging when you're carrying around 5 or 10 proposals that are 50 pages a piece. How do you move that around? So
Yeah, and
hopefully, yeah.
I'll just say quickly that in a conversation I was having with another one of our customers, Leon County, Florida, yesterday, what came out of that was that the number one thing that their purchasing team can do for their vendors today to help keep them safe and healthy is to allow them to, and also to continue to run a successful local business, is to give them access to opportunities that they can respond to without putting them in harm's way.
Right.
There are so many opportunities now for, their governments are looking for all kinds of, medical equipment and supplies and cleaning supplies, and there's a lot of local businesses out there that are actually qualified to do that. And so, this was the one thing that they came up with that says, if we can make a difference for our local businesses, this was the one thing that they could do: go from paper to paperless.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that a lot of local governments are easing these procurement rules and to take away this paper requirement so that they can respond during COVID-19. So hopefully that's something that sticks. So Tal, thank you very much. I'm going to take over the presentation again, and I will show my screen briefly before I let everybody go. Actually, Tal, if you're still there, tell everybody again how they can access your offer.
Absolutely. Go to www.procurenow.com. At the very top of that page, there's just a banner that you can click on. It says COVID-19. Click on that banner and it'll just have you fill out just a quick form. Enter that form and that'll send me a message. We have a couple of webinars that I'll respond back to that you can sign up for. So just go to our website, click on the banner, fill out the form, and we'll be in touch.
Excellent. And if you'd like to get access to ProcureNow's information on Marketplace.city, you could register directly at Marketplace. You can contact us at hello@Marketplace.city. You could visit our landing page that will have this video and the link to ProcureNow's page on our site. And then you can also find and subscribe via our social media channels. So follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn, and then subscribe to this YouTube channel. So thanks, Tal, very much. Thank you, everybody, for listening in, and good luck, everyone, in your response to COVID-19. All right.
Thanks.
Take care.